Hey everyone, welcome to day 3 of the Breathe live virtual telesummit. I am your host, Dorothy-Inez, confidence and mindset coach for high achieving entrepreneurs. And I am here today to share with you my beloved client, and most importantly, my beautiful sister, Miss Rochelle Beachy. And today we are going to be talking about creativity in crisis. And then we're going to talk about girl straightening your crown. That's why we came on today. I've got my crown on, got my little glam on today, because I know right now, just talking to my girlfriends, many of us are struggling with, keeping our spirits up. And do you girls remember back in the day, dressing up? Do you remember dressing up and, feeling glamorous, maybe trying on your mom's, clothing, or if, your dad or mom brought you stuff to be like a princess, feel like Cinderella or royalty? Well, that's what I did today. Me and Miss Rochelle, we came on with our crowns on, hoping to help you today by tuning in, straighten your crown. And so right now, I want to bring in my beautiful guest. Let me find her. Welcome, Rochelle. Welcome.
Thank you.
Wearing our crowns. Yes, we are today. So let me tell you guys about this beautiful woman that sits before us. Rochelle Beachy is a six-figure earner. I can't even talk today, Rochelle. A six-figure earner with the direct sales company Paparazzi Jewelry. She has created a team of over 11,000, you heard me, over 11,000 Royal Rockstar women in her career. Her story will inspire you to think big, because she's big, differently, and step into all that God has called you to do and be in your life. She is on a mission to make an impact and inspire others to live to their fullest potential. And trust me, this girl here, let me tell you, I've been her coach for 6 months, and I had to have her on for creativity, because this chick, her mind is always going. She's always got a fabulous ideas. And most importantly, what I love about Miss Rochelle Beachy is she has a heart for God. She has a heart for women and helping women show up and shine as their best and highest self. And that's why whatever she does, I'm just so excited to be a part of it. And so many exciting things have happened. She recently opened her own retreat center. She bought this beautiful mansion. I mean, that was just a vision. And to just be a part of that, I mean, this is a go-getter. So get out your pens, get out your paper, because I know Miss Rochelle Beachy, she's tapped in, and I know something juicy is going to come forth. So welcome, Rochelle. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm just, you can't tell. Your sister is glad to have you. Okay.
Dorothy-Inez has seriously helped me so much, you guys, within the last 6 months, however long it's been or longer, as my personal coach. And just the journey that we've had together has been amazing. And she's all about balance. She's always trying to tell Rochelle, just rein it in a little bit. I'm trying to help this girl out. So I appreciate that. It has been life-changing, and I really, really appreciate you and your guidance and your help along the way. So, yeah.
It's my pleasure. I'm just feeling so glamorous. To be honest, I needed So Rochelle sent me this crown for my birthday back in October, and I haven't had an opportunity to wear it. And so I called her probably about 30 minutes ago, and I was like, Rochelle, girl, let's dress up and let's put our crowns on. And Rochelle was like, well, I'm kind of feeling sick. And I said, well, girl, it's gloomy over here. And I'm sure there's plenty of sisters who need to straighten their crown today. So let's bring it, Rochelle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny that you mentioned that because last night, well, yesterday was my birthday, and
yesterday was her birthday. I called her happy birthday to her.
Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you. So Merle throws together this last minute surprise party, which ended up not being a surprise, but it was so much fun. As we're stuck in the house here, plans have gone upside down, as I'm sure a bunch of other people have as well. You just learn how to make lemonade out of lemons, And we had this Gatsby theme party, and I'm like going out to my boutique and grabbing some pieces and trying to put together some sort of Gatsby theme. But it was fun. I got all some sparkly shoes, and Isabel had to go, which is my daughter. She had to go run and grab her sparkly sandals too.
Wow. I just love Isabel. Isabel is just the cutest. You'll have to, give the little brief about that beautiful young girl. Rochelle's story is just so inspiring. And we have Rochelle Neiman on Rochelle. We have Rochelle Neiman on, and she says she loves our tiaras and she also loves your name.
Oh, thank you. I love your name,
Rochelle.
Yes.
So Rochelle, tell us what led you to being an entrepreneur. What led you down this path?
Good question. Right now we're in a crisis in the nation, right? But 7 years ago, well, it was actually more like 8 years ago when I started being an entrepreneur. I guess I've had a heart to be an entrepreneur for years and years and didn't even realize what it all was. But I've had a passion for women as well. And I've had a passion to mentor other women and encourage women because we all need that, right? We all need encouragement. We all need someone who believes in us, someone to cheer us on in the middle of our journey, right? And so when I joined my current company, a little bit over 7 years ago, I was looking for an opportunity. I was sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Right. At the time, we were just really struggling financially, which I know right now lots of people are struggling financially as well. And my heart hurts for people in the middle of their struggle because I've been there. I know what it is like to take $20 to the grocery store and try to get the bare minimum, right? I know what it's like to pinch and save pennies to even go on a date with my husband. I know what it's like to feel stressed, right, because of financial issues. And so I was sick and tired of it. And I found this company, and they have this cute $5 jewelry and all. And I'm like, oh, my word, I love deals. And so making people feel beautiful on a budget just makes me so happy. And, I can have this online business, plus I can bless others in the meantime, right? So this business began as a means to make at least $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And as Dorothy-Inez says, I'm currently a six-figure earner in the company. I've been blessed beyond my wildest dreams, right? But it's not been without a struggle, right? Because any blessing in your life generally is going to come with some hardships in the middle of it all, And if we're willing to embrace the struggle in the process, so that's a little bit about my story. I mean, I could seriously go on and on for days, but I'm trying not to ramble, Miss Dorothy-Inez.
You're doing fabulous. I just love your story. And one part, if you're open to sharing, because I think it's so inspiring, is about little baby Isabel, and just how paparazzi may have played a role in this beautiful being called Isabel that I just love when she comes and jumps on our calls.
Yeah, she's full of it. She's almost 3 years old and we're struggling with nap time. But yeah, that whole story is a story of just a total God story for real, because I mean, we thought we were going to have our own biological kids. We thought, you know, that it would, you know, our story would just be the norm, right? Mm-hmm. And I think biological kids and everything are awesome, but, you know, God had a little different plan for us. And, you know, I remember the one time I was pregnant, found out I was pregnant. It was, anyway, I'm not going to go too deep into all this, but to make a long story short, what I thought was my miracle baby ended up as a miscarriage. Okay. And, you know, in the middle of the struggle, in the middle of the depression and the hard things that I went through with all that, you know, God taught me so much. And one of the biggest things was just surrender and embracing my story, because so many times we're like fighting with God, and we're like, I want this, I want to make this happen. And, you know, I'm a make it happen kind of girl. And
really? So are you really a make it happen kind of girl? Huh? Are you really a make it happen kind of girl?
I think you know that. But yeah, I'm very much a make it happen kind of girl. You know, I know how to hustle. I know how to make things happen, but this was totally out of my control, right? And I had to come to the point where I just had to open up my hands to God, right? And just let go. And the awesome thing about that is whenever we choose to let go and we quit trying to control all the things and we choose to trust God, that he just likes to do something that's even better, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it was quite the journey. And the whole story of adoption with Isabel is its own story. Like it could take an hour or two just to share that story. Mm-hmm. But total God story. And, you know, I knew that God told me very clearly that he was going to, you know, we were supposed to go through the whole home study thing, and God was going to give us this child, you know. And it was not an easy journey at all, but it was a perfect timing and just such a God story. And Isabel is such a gift. Like, we adore her. And she has been such a bright spot in our life. And I know that she's a world changer. Like, she is.
She's like her mama.
She's going to take it beyond anything I've ever done. Like, I feel that.
Yeah, she is so precious. So thank you for sharing that piece of yourself and the little story about Isabel. Like I said, she is such a blessing, and I love when she comes on our calls with her little cheeks and her beautiful smile. So thank you for sharing. So tell us, Rochelle, your community is called Royal Rockstars. Mm-hmm. Tell us how and why you came up with this name, Royal Rockstars.
Okay, so you probably don't even know this, but it used to be called, our group used to be the Paparazzi Princesses. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I didn't really grow up with the whole princess vibe going on. I didn't really grow up with being celebrated in my, you know, just my gifts, my beauty, just my talents and all that, because the culture that I grew up in, that was just like a prideful thing, you know, and you weren't supposed to make, you know, anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. But to make a long story short, I'm very, very passionate about identity. I'm very passionate about celebrating other people, okay? And I'm passionate about my team, the Royal Rockstars. And, you know, you mentioned 11,000 earlier. It's actually close to 13,000 now. So that's,
oh,
wow. But it was crazy because, like I said earlier, I just wanted to make $1,000, $2,000. But when you're willing to open up your hands and bless other people and make your business not just about you, but about providing value and encouraging other people and being willing to hustle as well, right? You have to hustle it like crazy. But when you make it not just about you, you know, blessings come, like they seriously do, when you focus on blessing someone else. So yeah, to make a long story short, I'm just very passionate about identity. I'm very passionate about encouraging men and women, and we are, you know, there's men on our team as well. So we changed the name to the Royal Rockstars, and I'm all about those royal vibes, y'all, and encouraging other people to walk boldly and confidently in their gifts and their talents. So that's a little bit behind the name.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I love how you have this, I love you said, open your hands to bless others. so many women come to their business with the heart to sell rather than the heart to serve. And this is something you and I always talk about, is having that mind, you know, that servant leadership, that servant's heart, that heart that, is all about service. And you said, when we make it about others rather than ourselves, the blessing comes. And this is something I tell you, Rochelle, I have really been, as you know, I started recently, I guess, 3 weeks ago with Mary Kay. And Mary Kay's all about that go give spirit, which is that servant leadership. And I am, oh my God, girl, the more I just give from a place of giving, I'm finding the blessings are flowing in. This morning, I opened up my inbox and there was a surprise $500 PayPal deposit. Wow. And I'm just like, wow, I was not expecting this. And this is what happens. And this is what I'm seeing constantly happening with you, as you're giving and serving, blessings are coming back. I mean, that house, tell them about that house. Because that girl, remember when we first talked about that house about 5 months ago, when it was part of the vision and you and I were visioning, and then just a month ago, you got the keys, you held your first, retreat there. Tell them about that miracle.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, it was seriously like birthing a child. I mean, when you're in the middle of birthing a dream, it's not always going to be easy, right? You're going to have ups and downs along the way. But I remember we were in the financial advisor's office that one day when we came up with the idea. We conceived the idea, right? And then we started looking into things, and it was a long process, right? And then I remember that one day I was a little discouraged because we had been in a meeting that day and it just didn't go as planned. And I remember talking to you on the phone. And, where I just really, at the very end, we were talking about our why and how important our why is. And all of a sudden, I just how sometimes you have something in the core of your being and you just have to get it out, right? And I just it just flowed out. And Dorothy-Inez was there in her face. I could tell it was hitting her in her spirit somewhere. And I was just talking about how I just really want this home where someone can walk in the door, maybe having a hard day, right? Just life has happened, right? And you come in that door and you come in and the place is full of royalty, royal vibes, and I described some of that to you that day. And just talking about how I want people to leave feeling treasured and valued and celebrated and all of that. And then the way that you affirmed things that day as well, Dorothy-Inez, it was just whoa, it was
like this synchronicity. You had a vision, then God started flowing through me. And then we were like, this is going to happen. And then you started looking for homes. And I'll never forget when you were like, shh. And you recorded that video for me. And you were like, look, Dorothy-Inez. And then the beautiful part, this home, you guys, when she said, Rochelle really visioned what she wanted in this place and everything she wanted. The beauty room, the beauty parlor. She has a beauty parlor in this place. And just the essence of it is all about royalty. And then to top it off, the decor was perfect. And she didn't know, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that in the beginning when she looked at, she didn't know they were going to include the furniture in the sale. Yeah. So everything she needed came with the house. Yeah. I mean, wow. I mean, when God is for you, nothing can be against you, right?
Exactly. And it still blows me away because we had a lot of setbacks along the way too, right? And what I thought I needed a house in this area or that area. And then the one day I was just feeling down because we're like, oh, nothing is working out, And all of a sudden we started looking in a different area than we had before. This house popped up and we randomly decided, oh yes, we need to go look at this house. And I walk in that house and I was like, wow, like, wow. And I just kept on walking through the house, and it was just like that wow factor. And I wanted that wow factor because I wanted that for my team, because it's not just a retreat that I want them to experience. I want them to experience the wow factor and just how treasured and loved that they are. Because all of us are treasured and loved, right? And sometimes we just need to actually step into a place to remind us of actually who we are.
Right. Right. And, you know, and that's a big part of my message is the number one pillar is about identity. We have to know who we are. We are royalty. We are created in the image and in the likeness of God. And within us is the power, you know, to create and to be creative, which is our subject today, you know, and more, because we're trying to straighten some sisters' crowns today. So, you know, so we need to remind ourselves, we need to remind our sisters who they are. And I hope that through hearing Rochelle's story today, you understand that what's possible for Rochelle, what's possible for Dorothy-Inez, everything is possible for those that choose to step into their royal identity, for those who choose to embrace who they are in God. And so, Rochelle, in these trying times, you know, some women are struggling with staying motivated, with feeling hopeful about their business. What are some things that you've done to begin to think differently about your business?
Wow. Okay. I'm trying to understand exactly
ways, you know,
how to think outside the box, basically. Is that what you're saying as far as during a time like this?
Yeah. What are some things that you've done? Because I know you're like, when this began to happen, you were like, oh my God, all these ideas, you know, we had to rein you in, me and Merle, calm you down just a little bit, you know.
Story.
You know, because Rochelle, her mind goes 1,000 miles a minute, and when should it have been done? Yesterday. Okay. That's how she is. She's like, Dorothy-Inez, this idea came through and I got to get it done. Da, da, da. And then she'd be like, well, I'm all stressed out.
Dorothy-Inez,
never know, you know. But how, where do you think that creativity comes from? Are there things that you're doing that help facilitate your creativity?
Good question. Okay, so I am naturally a creative person, okay? I think we actually are all way more creative than we think we are. Something that really helps me, of course, is I love going on my walks. You know that.
Yes.
And I have my little chat with Jesus, you know, and I ask him. I find out from him what he has to say, you know. My mind naturally goes like 5 million miles an hour, like she said. So I have to actually rein it in, because I could seriously sit down and think of probably 5.7 million ways to rock a business, right? And think outside the box. The thing is, you have to have a long-term mindset in this business as well. And you have to understand that in the middle of a crisis that we're dealing with right now, right? There's an opportunity, okay? In the middle of your crisis, there's an opportunity, okay? You can choose to embrace loss, the spirit of loss, or you can choose to embrace a spirit of abundance. I'm going to tell you, if you want to thrive at such a time as this, you can. It is your choice. You must choose faith. You must choose to rein in that fear, right? Okay, I have to choose it myself, okay? I've been there, done that. You have to find balance. I could just go on and on as far as how to figure out, you know, creative ways in your business. I can give you guys specific things if you want. Dorothy-Inez, maybe you want to give me a more specific question in which, you know, in area of business.
So in maintaining, so women, let's just say some women that are listening in might be like you. They might be in a direct sales business. How have you used online to attract in customers and also to maintain that sense of connection with them using online? How are you doing that? How are you still growing your business in the midst of crisis?
I think
a lot.
Yeah. The thing is, when a crisis happens, the problem that happens a lot with people is you draw back, right? You're like, oh no, this is happening. I'm freaked out, yada, 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 right? And then you fear, well, maybe people aren't buying right now, or maybe I shouldn't be online, or all these different maybes and fears. Okay, here's the deal. You need to, the internet, Facebook, needs you more than ever before, okay? They need you to care about them. Your friends on Facebook need you to care about them more than ever before. Mm-hmm. So when you come out of a heart of creating value and loving your friends and really caring about the people in your community, you're just going to keep on building those relationships. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, basically, you just need to show up. You need to show up more than ever. You need to show up. If you really want to crush it, okay, I'm going to give you guys some tips. If you guys want to really crush it on social media, just drop crush it in the comments, because the number one thing, if you're building a business, you have to network, okay? That means if you only have 200 friends on Facebook, you need to be adding to your friends list, right? You need to be networking with people. You can maybe find groups of similar interests and things like that, right? To add, keep on adding your friends, connecting with people on Facebook. Very, very big deal. The second thing is you need to be putting good creative content, okay? Dorothy-Inez knows all about this stuff as well. You need to, if you want to really, really explode your business, you are going to build your business with live videos. Mm-hmm. If you're selling makeup, you're going to go live and do makeup tutorials. If you're selling jewelry like me, you go live selling jewelry, right? Mm-hmm. You figure out all the different ways to do it and you maximize it. You do probably times 10 what normal people think you should do on Facebook, okay? Now, you don't want to be posting every hour on your timeline. You want to make sure, you have at least 90 minutes to 2 hours in between. And you don't just want it to be all salesy, salesy, salesy. Right. You want to create valuable content and build it with a relationship mindset of providing value to your people. When you do that, the people will come to you. But you just got to go the extra mile and provide amazing customer service and just, I don't know, I could go on for days about this.
Yes, this is why I brought my girl on today. Candace says crush it, because Candace, she wants to crush it. And I'm sure some other ladies, we have a lot of people on right now. So Rochelle, you have given, I'm going to recap some of these juicy nuggets that you have just tossed at the girls here. So I love that you said, see, there's a difference between, feeling like you have to do something. You said you must have faith. You must have faith, and that is so powerful. I remember when I was at the Tony Robbins event a couple years ago, back in 2017, and he was like, you don't want to have to do things. There are things you must do in your life, because when they are a must, it's not an option. So in this time, we must have faith, ladies. And then you said, find balance. Because see, when you're coming from a place of scarcity, you're coming from a place of fear and lack, that is felt through this, through the lies. People feel that. So you want to have this balance where you're taking time, like Rochelle said, I get out and I go on a walk and I talk with Jesus every day, because see, what Rochelle realizes is who is really the CEO of her business, okay? It is not her. So she's going and she's listening to the one who gave her the call, who gave her the purpose. She's tapping into that voice that will never lead her astray. And trust and believe, she comes to me and she's got so many nuggets that come through those walks. So what are you doing in this time to create balance? If you're sitting at home, just staying inside, feeling depressed, girl, put your crown on and go outside, take a walk. You know, you don't be around people, but go take a walk. Connect to God through nature. Okay, I really love that. And then you said several times, Rochelle, create valuable content, add value. You know, I'm sure, like many, I'm sure you've seen this. Everybody's showing up live, right? It's like my phone is constantly pinging. I had to turn off the what do you call these? Alerts, because I was like, oh my God, not another one. There's another one. There's another one. You know, I had to just cut it off because everybody's going live. But what's going to make you stand out when you go live? Tap into your spirit and ask Spirit, God, Jesus, whatever that is for you. What do you want me to say today? What will be of value to my community today? And so that's what Rochelle is inviting us to do. And I love how you said, Rochelle, network. That was your number one tip. If you don't have a lot of friends, network. Okay, there's so many people getting together on Zoom. You have no excuses. And then you said, go live. You said, and basically what you're saying, Rochelle, is be willing to do what other people aren't willing to do. 10x it. 10x it. Okay, you got, if you want to be successful in these times, girls, you can't sit back feeling sorry for yourself, talking about how you don't know anybody. Girl, go find somebody, right?
Exactly.
We don't have time. You've got to be a make it happen kind of girl. Girl, put your crown on, put it on, and remember who you are. Okay, and
absolutely.
And have a relationship, a service and a relationship mindset. Those two coupled together are going to attract in your abundance during this time. Did I capture it all, Rochelle?
I think you did a great job.
So Rochelle, my sister, has laid down some great nuggets. So Rochelle, we have some women tuning in here. I've heard it every day. I'm talking to my sisters. Dorothy-Inez, I got these kids home, and girl, they're driving me crazy. What are some tips you have for other moms who are business owners like you, and they're not used to having their kids home all the time? What are some things you and Merle are doing to entertain, or maybe some of the tips you hear some of the girls, some of your 13,000 girls, what are they doing to really help find some solace during this time when they have their children home?
That's a great question. Okay, so my situation is a little bit different, but yeah, raising a almost 3-year-old who is like super full of it and comes down like 5.7 million times trying to get her to sleep. She's marching down the steps, right? She's full of it, right? She's full of energy and all of that. So of course, we take turns taking care of her and all that. But what I would recommend, I think the biggest thing is you have to find those pockets of time. Okay, so let's say your kids are maybe teach them to have some quiet time in the afternoon. That probably wouldn't hurt them. Or you know, maybe they're napping or something. During that time, be intentional and have some intentional time for your business. Another thing, of course, is get up before your kids do. I know that can be a hard one, right? I don't always manage that, but I try, because that's awesome to have that little quiet time before they wake up. You can get your mindset right before the day starts and all that. You know, setting a timer. You know, maybe the kids could even help you clean up your house quickly for 30 minutes. I'm the oldest of 8 kids, so I know what being in a house full of kids is all about. Okay, I was basically a second mom. So get the kids involved as well. They don't have to just lounge around watching their Netflix and chilling or whatever. They can be a part of things as well. And if you own a business, put them to work. I mean, they can even, you know, if they're old enough, it can help. Okay,
make them a tax write-off if you pay them.
What's that?
I said you can make them a tax write-off if you pay them.
Yeah, absolutely. Tax write-off as well. So get them involved. Kids need a purpose as well. But I mean, I would say, you know, whenever they're sleeping, of course, And that's prime time for you. I know you need some prime time to relax as well. But just try to balance it and just be very intentional, because a lot of times people say that they're working their business, and I'm very guilty of this myself, right? We say we're working it, but all we're doing is just scrolling randomly on Facebook, right? Or we're getting distracted with things that aren't really the most important. So in the beginning of the day also, figure out what are the top 3 things that you need to accomplish today in your business, or what are 3 things that you could do, or even the night before, right? You're going to be much more prepared. The more that you can prepare, the more intentional you can be with your schedule, the more you can find balance and peace on earth, goodwill to men. Right.
Really great tips. And that's kind of like even with my Mary Kay business, we have every night before you go to bed is writing down the top 6 things that are going to move your business. What are the top 6 things you're going to do tomorrow that will move you closer towards your goals? And you're suggesting 3. So anywhere in that range, but the key is being focused and creating time, focused time to work on your business. And I think too, you know, some of the things I've heard that women are doing is women are doing dance parties with their kids, which gives them a chance to release energy and get some exercise in, you know, doing puzzles, doing old school things like games. Do you remember games, board games?
Oh, yeah.
You know, do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you're in a place that's warm, take your kids out, maybe go, you know, for a ride on your bikes, you know, get out there and be creative, because kids are so used to laying, like you said, in front of Netflix or playing games. They don't even know, they don't know what to do with themselves. So this is a time for families to really grow together, and husbands and wives, you know, they're struggling too, you know, so this is a time to really rekindle your relationships with your family and, you know, with your children. So thank you for those really valuable tips.
You're welcome.
So Rochelle, I'm just feeling so energized right now from our conversation. Good. I knew you were a great, you know, person to bring on in the middle of the week. You know, this was strategic. I knew what we were going to be doing together, our synergy. So this is awesome. So I have one more question for you, Rochelle. What would you say to that sister that's sitting on the other side of this camera, and she's sitting in her apartment or sitting in her room, her office, listening to us? And despite how much, you know, motivation we may have brought her, she's still feeling down. She's still feeling depressed. She's still feeling like, oh my God, is this going to work right now? What am I going to do? What would you say to that sister that just might be feeling sad and discouraged right now in her home? If you could just hold her hand and look her in the eye, what would you say to her right now?
I would just tell her that, you know, we're in this together. She's not alone. You're not alone. If you're in the middle of this right now and you're feeling down and depressed, you're not alone. We are here together as a community, and we are going to hold up each other's hands, even if they feel a little bit weary, right? We all sometimes have our moments, right? And that's okay. So just breathe and try not to focus on your circumstances right now, because circumstances can look like it's a huge mountain right now, right? But just like Peter, when he was in that boat, right? And he stepped out, there's a huge storm happening in his life, right? And the waves were crazy. It was blowing and all this kind of stuff. He thought he was going to die, and here comes Jesus, right? And instead of just focusing on the crazy, right? Focusing on the crisis, focusing on what's making us feel sad or down or defeated, he turned his eyes on Jesus, and then he was able to walk on the water. And I feel like, I know it could be very hard. It can be very difficult if you're in the middle of that and it feels overwhelming and it feels impossible. But you have to remember that with God, all things are possible. And, you know, there have been so many other crises that we've come through as a nation, and we will always come through stronger and better than ever.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. And what a great story. What a great story about Peter, because it's true. The more you it's what you focus on, what you choose to focus on. You can choose, like you said, to focus on the crisis, and that's what you will bring forth in your life. You know, what you think about, you bring about. Mm-hmm. And so when you keep your eyes on God, in this case, when we keep our eyes on Jesus, when we keep our eyes focused on the one who gave us the mission, we keep our eyes focused on our why, I promise you, you too will be able to walk on water, so to speak, because you're keeping your eye on what matters. Mm-hmm. What matters. All the rest of that, yeah, this is real. It's real. We're not trying to pretend that it doesn't exist, but fill yourself up. What I say to you is every day I'm on my phone and I'm filling it up with positive. I go on YouTube and I'm filling it up with positivity. I'm reading scripture and I'm proclaiming God's word over myself. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Everything is working for my good. You know, life is happening for me. Rochelle knows that's my mantra to her. Life is happening for us, Rochelle. You have to always tap into truth. Don't sit here watching CNN 24/7, having that crap playing in the background. Throw on some worship music. Throw on some music that inspires you. Sometimes for me, it's between worship and Justin Bieber right now. And then some Prince, okay? So those are my three go-to, okay? Worship, Justin Bieber, and Prince. One of those is going to keep me hyped up over here. So find what works for you and know that this is temporary. This is temporary, but just tap into the one that gives you that creativity and be willing to be bold and take bold action. Mm-hmm. Okay? Don't sit back feeling sorry for yourself, sister, because it's not going to get you anywhere. Tap into your community. You don't have a community, what do, Rochelle? You don't have a community, what do?
Reach out and find one. I mean, we're here for you. We're here for you.
One. That's right. You make one.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. So thank you so much, Rochelle. Thank you so much to all of you that tuned in today. Rochelle, if women want to connect with you, if women want to reach out and get some $5 jewelry, girl, where do they go?
Well, either on my business page or RochelleBeachy.com. So super easy peasy. Just Google me. You're going to find me all over the internet.
Yeah, just Google her. She goes, when she tells you she 10Xs, she 10Xs. So she'll be going live. I tell you, I had to stop watching Rochelle. This girl here. And I told her, I said, Rochelle, I can't watch you anymore because every time I watch you, girl, I'm buying $5 jewelry. I'm buying more jewelry right now than I need because I watch Rochelle. So, you know, I tell you, watch with caution.
It's addicting.
Yeah, it's addicting because it's only $5, right?
Wow.
So thank you so much, Rochelle, for bringing your love, for bringing your light, for bringing your wisdom. God bless all of you watching. If you need to reach out to me, you can find me at Dorothy-Inez.com. I'm looking forward to being in service. And if any of you want a pink envelope of love sent your way, just inbox me and I will be happy to send you some beauty and some love your way. So let me know. God bless you and have a fabulous, fabulous day. And don't forget to just breathe.
Yes, thank you.